Hi folks, Biff Baxter here, wattOS Linux, with a tips and tricks video. This is going to be a series of short little videos to help you do little things that might give you a little extra quality of life if you plan on sticking with the default LXDE desktop and keeping things lightweight. So one of the things we've seen in the forums has been a request for Touchpad. There's not a GUI by default, a graphical user interface for mouse configuration in LXDE. Other desktops like XFCE, Mate, GNOME, etc. all have a utility where you can go in and do some minimal things with a touchpad. I think the biggest thing, probably the biggest quality of life thing relative to that, is a pretty simple fix on LXDE in wattOS. You can create a simple text file that will enable tapping. That's probably the biggest irritant. Some people don't want it, some people do. But if you want things like tap to click instead of having to click a button or push down on the touchpad, or if you want like tap with two fingers for right click equivalent, etc., then this is your ticket. So take a quick look. So I'll post this in the tips and tricks as well under the wattOS Discord, and so that you can cut and paste this information. But essentially, you're just going to create a new file at etcx11xorg.conf.d and put this information in here and reboot your box, and you'll be off to the races. You probably technically don't have to reboot it. If you restart X, you're probably fine. But since wattOS takes a whopping 10 seconds to reboot on most of my systems, I usually just reboot if I've got a change that I've got a question about, especially as it relates to hardware. So I'm just going to do this real quick in a terminal. I'm going to take this information and paste it into this file. So I'm just going to go, I'm going to cheat because I'm lazy. I'm going to go like this. Control C to copy it. I'm going to go sudo vim or sudo, depends upon potato. Sudo vim that file, because it does not exist currently. If you were to go to this directory, I'll just go there for the heck of it. So you can see xorg. You can see the only thing in there is keyboard. There's no touchpad configuration file. So we're going to make one. So we're going to do the same. We're going to take that, and we're going to go sudo vim. Control-Shift-V allows you to paste in the terminal. Control-Shift-C copies. Control-Shift-V pastes. You can do that. You have to do it as root because that's a requirement in this particular directory. And put your root password in. And then you're in a new file. And again, this is Vim. You can use Nano or whatever other editing tool you'd like to use. But Vim's included in wattOS by default, so you can use that as well as mousepad, etc. So again, under the lazy category, I'm just going to copy this information right here between these lines. Oops, how about if I copy it, Control C, and then if I go in here, I go to insert mode in Vim, Control Shift V, and there it is. Now what this does is libinput's already included in wattOS, so which handles things like keyboard, mice, etc. And the big option here is option tapping on. That being put in there allows for you to be able to tap to click instead of having to physically click. So we'll get out of insert mode, we'll write the file, and we'll reboot the box. That's simple. Don't save. Reboot. Put our super secret password in, and we're back here. And then when you double tap, or not double tap, but if you use two fingers to tap, you'll get the context menu and whatever you're using. So if you double tap, or if you two finger tap, you'll get the context menu like a right click, and then you also then can tap without having to click a mechanical button if your mouse is a touchpad that supports that. So that's the easiest way. There's a whole bunch of other options, like if you want 3-finger instead of 2-finger, and all kinds of other stuff. It's kind of outside the scope of this little tips and tricks video. But if you want to do that to quickly fix your touchpad on a laptop scenario, that's the ticket. Thanks so much. Keep watching for more tips and tricks. I've got